Friends, on behalf of JM Financial, I welcome you all to the third quarter earnings conference call of PNC Infotech. We are joined today by the senior management of PNC, led by Mr. Yogesh Kumar Jain, the Managing Director, and his team. I would now like to hand over the call to Mr. Yogesh Jain for opening comments, followed by Q&A session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, friends. First of all, a very happy new year and a very warm welcome to all of you to participate in our earnings conference call to discuss on our financials and operational performance for the quarter and 9 months ended December 31st, 20. I hope all of you and your loved one are healthy and safe. Today, along with me, I have Mr. T.R. Rao, Director, Mr. Dr. Bhupen Sahni, CFO, and Mr. D.K. Maheshwari, VP Finance and Strategic Growth Advisors and Investor Relations Advisors. First, I will share key development in the sector and then I will share our thoughts on recently presented Union Budget, followed by key operational and financial highlights of the company. As per the latest economic survey, economy is expected to undergo a V-shaped recovery from a GDP contraction of 7.7% in financial year 21 to 11% growth in financial year 22. This is also in line with the IMF latest estimate of 11.5% GDP growth in financial year 22, where it also indicated that India is expected to be one of the fastest growing economies for the next 2 years. The sharp recovery in economic activities is due to continued government expenditure, resumption of private investment supported by faster pickup in consumption and vaccination drive across the country. We have seen that the credit growth for the construction sector has been rebounding from October 20 onwards, which has been an outcome of various initiatives under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Mission, and economy itself witnessed a faster turnaround post the unlocked spells. With the national infrastructure pipeline already laid a roadmap for next 5 years, the construction sector and specifically the road construction is expected to lead the way. As Honorable Finance Minister stated during her budget speech, infrastructure development is one of the key pillars for the growth, and with a allocation of rupees 2.27 lakh crore towards infrastructure project over the next 2-3 years, the momentum is expected to increase rapidly. The outlay as per financial year 2022 budget estimate for NHAI has increased by nearly 35% to rupees 57,350 crore as compared to financial year 21 budget estimate of rupees 42,500 crores. To augment its source of funds, the NHAI is already working on InvIT structure where 5 operational road projects with an enterprise value of rupees 5,000 crore would be transferred to NHAI sponsored InvIT. Financial year 22 budget has allocated rupees 1.18 lakh crore to MORTH, out of which rupees 1.08 lakh crore will be towards the capital expenditure. This is the highest ever allocation to MORTH, indicating strong awarding activity in next year. The Honorable Finance Minister has also proposed to set up a development financial institution with a seed sum of rupees 20,000 crore, which will extend funding support of approximately rupees 5 lakh crore to infrastructure sector. The industry continues to see positive trend in terms of positive project awarding activity. The MORTH awarded a total of 7,597 kilometers during the period of April 20 to 15th January 21, as compared to 3,474 kilometers during the same period last year. Whereas NHAI awarded 2,424 kilometers till December in current financial year, as compared to 3,211 kilometers for full year of financial year 20. NHAI is targeting to award anywhere between 4,800 to 5,200 kilometers before the end of current financial year, as compared to its full year target of 4,500 kilometers, indicating strong awarding activity in current quarter. With a target of awarding 8,500 kilometers in financial year 22, We expect the robust awarding activity to continue in the next year as well. A similar positive trend is witnessed on construction front as well. During the period of April to 15th January 21, a total of 8,169 kilometers were construction as compared to 7,573 kilometers in corresponding period last year. This construction progress is achieved in spite of COVID-19 triggered disruptions in the first 2-3 months of the current financial year, followed by active monsoon across the current country. MoRTH and NHAI are expected to continue the strong pace of project awarding as 5,000 kilometers of project under phase 2 of Bharatmala Pariyojana have already been identified to start with. The phase 2 will largely focus on construction of expressway and access controlled highway. The authorities have already started taking pre-construction approval and preparing DPRs for the projects, which will reduce the project awarding time post-approval. With progressive unlocking and migrant labor returning to project site, we have seen decent ramp up in execution post-monsoon season. The standard operating practice implemented during the COVID-19 peak periods continue to be in place at all project sites. With labor availability reaching to the pre-COVID levels and favorable climate, the execution has been better during the quarter 3 as compared to last year. On the toll collection front, as well as there has been a high growth in traffic in third quarter and in the month of January 21 as well. With government expenditure being the key driver for economy recovery, we foresee that the infrastructure sector will continue to attract its attention. Given the promising outlook, since the company has been built on a strong foundation of impeccable execution track record, adequate resources, experienced management team, judicious financial management supported by strong balance sheet and robust techno-financial credentials, we look forward to bidding for new and large projects with confidence. Now moving to our project development business. We have always focused on having diversity in our project development business, which has helped us over the years to continue our growth momentum and risk mitigation. We have a total 18 projects on PPP format comprising BOT toll, BOT annuity, OMT and HAM assets. This diversity has also helped us to gain first-hand experience in executing wide spectrum of project implementing model. Out of these 18, 8 projects are operational and 6 projects are under construction. 2 projects have achieved the financial closure recently, and we are expecting the financial closure within a week time of Reliance One project. The construction activities are expected to begin in the fourth quarter as soon as we receive the appointed dates. For the balance first one project, Bharat, we have received the final sanction and the financial closure is expected within this month. In terms of equity investment, the total requirement for all these projects, HAM projects, is approximate 1,468 crores, out of which we have already invested rupees 542 crores till December 20, and the balance will be invested over the next 2-3 years. The internal accruals generated over the next 2-3 years should be sufficient to fund the total equity investment. Now moving on our order book. During the pandemic COVID-19, we have worked on diversifying the order book, and result of which is visible in our current order book. During the third quarter, we have received letter of award for an irrigation project in the state of Andhra Pradesh of rupees 1,000 crores, as well as for 5 rural drinking water supply projects in the state of Uttar Pradesh for total contract value rupees 3,717 crores. Our unexecuted order book on December 20 was rupees 9,852 crores. By including all the projects for which we have already received letters of award, our order book would be over rupees 18,000 crores. That gives a distinct revenue visibility for company over the 2 and 2.5 years. Now moving on to our credit ratings, we continue to maintain one of the best credit rating in the industry. During the quarter, CARE Rating has upgraded our credit ratings to at CARE AA from CARE AA minus for long-term bank facility of rupees 1,700 crores. The rating on short-term bank facility of rupees 5,000 crore is single A1 plus. The above upgrading in the current scenario is testimony of our prudent financial management and will allow us to raise funds at a very competitive level. Now I would present the results for the quarter ended December 31st, 20. During the year till date, the company operations have been impacted due to restrictions on account of COVID-19 and therefore are not objectively comparable with that corresponding periods of last year. Revenue of third quarter of financial year 21 is rupees 1,322 crore, which is higher by 8% as compared to rupees 1,218 crore in third quarter of financial year 20. The EBITDA for third quarter is rupees 179 crore, which is higher by 5% as compared to rupees 171 crore in quarter 3 financial year 20. The EBITDA margin for third quarter is 13.5%. The profit of third quarter of financial year 21 is rupees 103 crore as compared to rupees 77 crore in third quarter of financial year 20, a growth of 35%. Revenue for 9 months of previous financial year includes rupees 109 crore towards arbitration claim received for Hapur Moradabad project. Similarly, other income includes interest of rupees 36 crore received on arbitration award. Hence, the financial performance of 9 months financial year 21 is not objectively comparable to that extent. Revenue of 9 months of financial year 21 is 3,281 crore and EBITDA is rupees 440 crore. The EBITDA margin for 9 months of financial year 21 has been 13.4%. Profit of 9 months financial year 21 is 233 crore. Consolidated revenue of quarter 3 financial year 21 is rupees 1,582 crore as compared to rupees 1,390 crore in quarter 3 financial year 20, registering a growth of 14%. The consolidated EBITDA for third quarter of financial year 21 is rupees 407 crore, which grew by 36% as compared to rupees 297 crore for third quarter of financial year 20. The EBITDA margin for quarter 3 financial year 21 came in at 25.7% as compared to 21.3% for quarter 3 financial year 20. The consolidated PAT for quarter 3 financial year 21 is rupees 168 crore as compared to rupees 64 crore in quarter 3 financial year 20. The financial performance for 9 months of financial year 21 is not comparable to 9 months of financial year 20 due to arbitration claim received for Hapur Moradabad. Consolidated revenue of 9 months of financial year 21 is rupees 3,923 crore, whereas consolidated EBITDA is rupees 998 crore. The EBITDA margin for 9 months financial year 21 is 25.4%. Consolidated PAT for 9 months financial year 21 is rupees 340 crore. As on December 20, our net working cycle is 67 days as compared to 85 days as on September 20. Our net worth on a standalone basis is rupees 2,780 crore as on December 20, whereas total standalone debt is rupees 365 crores and all of which is equipment finance debt. As on December 20, we do not have any working capital loan. The total cash and bank balance is rupees 833 crore we have. Net cash of rupees 468 crore. This translates to net debt to equity of 0.13 times. On consolidated basis, our net worth is rupees 2,903 crores, whereas total debt is 3,809 crores. The total cash and bank balance including current investment is rupees 1,495 crore. This translates to net debt to equity of 1.31 times. With this, we now open the floor for question answer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from DAM Capital. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir, and congratulations on a very good set of numbers. So I have a few questions with me. The first one is on, order inflow target that we have already quite diversified at this moment. Almost 25% of our order book is from water and irrigation segment. And going forward for FY21 and 22, what are we having in our mind? Particularly in terms of roads and non-roads like water and metros.
Yes, our focus area will continue to be on the road sector. So we are pursuing because a lot of projects are coming from NHA and MOTS. So we will continue to focus upon road sector. But since Jal Jeevan Mission is a very long-term and very wide mission covering the various states, we also look forward to have some projects in drinking water supply. But before bidding for the new projects, we want to consolidate what are the projects that have been awarded to us in the water sector and then move accordingly. The road sector will continue to be our focus area.
Okay. So any guidance number we have?
See, the ratio of non-road sector should not be more than 20% of overall thing.
Understood, sir. Understood. Sir, and another question on the current order book of 98 billion. I believe we have ordered, we have taken the 3 HAM projects that we have got FC. And have we taken that Devi Patan water supply project also? And
there is no financial project for these water supply projects. These are being the EPC projects. But Devi Patan and other 3 new divisions they awarded recently. So we are going to execute the agreement soon, maybe before end of this February. Then accordingly, we will go ahead with the preparation of DPRs followed by execution.
Understood, sir. Understood. Thank you so much. That's all from me.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir, and congratulations on those set of numbers. Thanks for taking my question. So my question is first on the order backlog project-wise, which I need. So just I will highlight which projects I need. Sir, for Bhojpur Buxar, Koliwar Bhojpur, then Nagina Kanpur Varanasi Gorakhpur, and then the Purvanchal Expressway projects, package 5 and 6. Chitradurga, Jhansi package 1 and 2, then Aligarh, Kanpur.
Mr. Rushi, this is the operator. There is a disturbance coming from your line from the background. I would request you to mute your line while the management answers your question.
Yeah, but first, I understand. So obviously, so I just want, so as I said, I want a backlog of projects, project-wise. So can you just help me with that, sir?
Yes. Yes, Koliwar Bhojpur is 193 crore, sir. And Bhojpur Buxar 212 crore. Chitradurga 236 crore.
Chitradurga?
Kashipur 431 crore.
430. Sir, which after Koliwar Bhojpur Buxar, which one you said, sir?
Only Bhojpur 193 crore.
Yeah, Bhojpur books are 212 crores. Then which one you said, sir?
Chitradurga.
Chitradurga 236 crore. Chitradurga.
Chitradurga. Okay. Nagina Kashipur
430 crore.
Varanasi Gorakhpur.
Varanasi Gorakhpur is 99 crore.
Okay. And sir, this Purvanchal package 5 and 6.
Purvanchal 5 is 511 crore. And Purvanchal 6 is 486 crore.
Acha. And then this Jhansi package 1 and 2.
Jhansi package 1 is 269 crore. And package 2 is 175 crore.
Acha. And then sir, Aligarh, Kanpur and Chalar ke Hariyar.
Chalagarh and Hariyar very recently appointed date is the full amount is there.
And Aligarh, Kanpur, the one which is under execution.
It is 274 crore.
Okay. And sir, the rest other projects, Delhi, Vadodara, we have started package 3129.
Because we have not received the appointed date so far, so therefore it is not in under execution.
So when is it expected, sir?
By end of this financial year, we are expecting appointed date of all these two APC projects.
And sir, what is the land status for the HAM projects which are still awaited appointed date, like for this Meerut Naziabad, then this Unnao Lalganj, then Jagdishpur?
Yes, these are 4 HAM projects. 3G already been done for more than 90%. Awards have been made, and NHA also transferred the money to the respective Kalas. So the final distribution to the landowners is being done. So we expect more than 80% land availability before end of this financial year, and correspondingly these appointed dates will be declared progressively.
Okay, so by April we are expecting appointed date for these 4 projects, including Delhi, Vadodara, by end of this.
Yes.
So
Yes.
Delhi, Vadodara also land.
4 HAM projects and 2 EPC projects we expect appointed dates.
Delhi, Vadodara also land is still pending, what I assume, right, sir?
Son?
Delhi, Vadodara also land availability is still pending.
So distribution is being done. See, what will happen is land holdings being very small. From Kala to the respective landowners, that takes time because sometimes there will be joint ownership kind of a thing. So final distribution to the beneficiaries account is only taking time. So we expect that to be completed before end of this current financial year, and accordingly appointed dates will be declared.
And this irrigation project, these 3 projects, are the value which you have mentioned is our share or is the total value, sir?
Which one? Drinking water or irrigation?
All 3. Irrigation in AP is 1,000 crore, and then there is water supply 290 crore.
Irrigation on a standalone basis we have been qualified. This is 1,000 plus 1,000 crore project. But this project we need to execute the agreement. What is happening in the state of Andhra Pradesh, Panchayat elections are going on. The code of conduct is still valid till 24th of February. Post that we will execute the agreement, and then accordingly we will commence the work in the month of March.
And this 100% execution will be done by us?
Yes.
So 1,000 crore will come in our books, right, sir?
Yes. It will 1,000 crores will come into our books.
And this 290 crore water supply project and this 6 water supply project of 2475 crore also, how it will progress now in terms of execution and
290 crores first water supply project in the district of Hamirpur, that we have already commenced the work. DPRs have been submitted and we commenced the work. There our JV will have a 95% partnership in the JV. So all these water supply works where you have 95% partnership, you can practically say that this all work done will come into the PNC account.
Okay. So this 290 crore, 95% will come in our share, 2475 crore, 95% will come in our share, right, sir?
Exactly.
In our books. And sir, what is the payment structure in these projects, and have we received any mobilization advance for these projects on the AP fund as well as the two projects of water drinking?
Drinking water supply for a Chitrakoot we have not taken. Those 10% mobilization advance is there. Since it's an interest-bearing thing, we have not taken. Going forward for 4 other projects in JB Patan, Aligarh, Bareilly and Moradabad, so there also mobilization advance is there. Then post signing of the agreement, we look into whether we should take it or not. but most likely we will take mobilization advance into those projects. That mobilization advance is interest-free.
Mm-hmm. That is why 10%
This
interest.
project doesn't have the provision for mobilization advance in Andhra Pradesh.
So that should be like we'll be investing. So then that should be a higher margin project, and any capex for these projects, sir?
See, water supply project, there is no major capex involved because this drinking water supply, then we have to construct overhead storage tanks and the pipeline and all. So no much capex we don't foresee. In the irrigation project also, the capex will be in a moderate kind of a capex. Only canal lining machine you have to purchase. So that is not any expensive kind of proposition.
And sir, on the toll collection, can you give me the toll collection numbers, sir?
Yes.
Including Ghaziabad, Aligarh.
The Ghaziabad Aligarh is 62.90.
Hmm.
And MP Highway 14.3.
13.3.
Ayodhya is 124.
Kanpur Ayodhya 124. Sorry, how much, sir?
124.14. Yeah.
124. Okay.
Kanpur Highway 25 crores.
Okay.
And Bareilly Almora in 13.95 crore.
And Narela?
Narela is 9.93 crore. And Raebareli Jaunpur is 32.16 crore.
Yes. Right.
In case you will compare the last year third quarter, it is growth is around 20% to 40%. Such as in Kanpur Highway growth is around 40%. In Bareilly Almora growth is around 42%. And overall, we will see that there is a growth of 22% total revenue of all the projects versus last year.
And what is the traffic growth, sir? This is the gross revenue, but traffic growth have we?
Mr. Rishi, so this is
Yeah, I'll come back in
this.
this.
You to
Yeah, this is the traffic. You can say traffic revenue growth.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I have other questions also. I'll come back in the view. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Parvez Akhtar Qazi from Edelweiss Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, sir, and congratulations for a good set of numbers. Two questions from my side. First, with regards to the irrigation and water supply projects that we have taken, what is the kind of margins and working capital that we envisage? And second, with regards to the pending equity and HAM projects, what is the total amount, and if it is possible to get the year-wise breakup, as in how much in Q4 FY21, FY22, 23, and so on? Thank you.
In the irrigation and water supply project, the EBITDA would be the same that of the road projects. It will be in the similar line. In the capex side, as I already mentioned, we don't see any major capex into these projects, being though no major equipment is needed. And the other thing, Mr. Manish will share.
As regards the equity commitment, out of the 7 projects which are under construction, we require the 848 crore rupees. Out of that, we have already infused 542 crore. The total requirement 306 crore. And the recently awarded 4 projects, we require around 620 crore. So as on 31st December, we require the equity of 926 crore in next 2-3 years. In case if you want to year-wise, FY22 around 350 crore, FY23 168 crore, and FY24 120 crore. But this mix is vary because we take infuse the equity at the time of the disbursement, just to maintain the net equity. The total requirement will remain same. It will be 920 crore in next 3 years.
Sure. And if I may ask one question, I mean, recently we have seen an increase in commodity prices. So what is the kind of impact that we see on our margins in, let's say, Q4 or FY22?
Actually, there is an escalation clause. So we don't think any impact in the profitability, because in all the projects, there is inflation in the HAM projects as well as in the EPC. We are getting the
price adjustment and price indexations are there, but we agree with you. These increase in the steel as well as cement and other commodities being very steep in vis-a-vis the price indexation and WPA. There will be very marginal kind of a thing, but it should not make any major impact on the profitability and EBITDA.
Sure, sir. Thank you. That's it from my side, and I'll join back. Thank you. All the best for you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Parikshit Kandpal from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Congratulations on this set of numbers. I would also like to welcome Bhupender sir on this call. So we are a full-time professional CEO now for the company.
He conveys his deep gratitude to all of you.
Okay. So my first question is on the overall. So we have seen very decent order inflows till now, and largely supported by from the water segment. So this year, water has helped us gain new orders, so and totally a new kind of a diversification. We have 18,000 crores of order backlog. We end up the year close to about 5,000 of turnover. So next year we're growing. So my question was more on next 2-3 years. So if you're looking to add 10 to 12,000 crores of new orders and then build it maybe to 15,000 crores, which will be required in FY23 to give that 15-20% growth. So besides road and waters, is there any other surprise that you have with you for the next year wherein a new segment can add significantly like 3 to 4,000 crores of inflows? Because that kind of momentum will be required to deliver that growth of 15-20%. So if you can just give me a 3-year kind of a view how this inflows will ramp up and what are the segments which will add incrementally besides roads and water.
Here, apart from water sector as well as irrigation and the roads, of course, roads is being our prime sector. So we immediately were not foreseeing any kind of foraying into other sectors as of now, because there will be ample of project opportunities, business opportunities in these sectors itself going forward. So as of now, and that this thing we are not seeing until unless there is any impelling synergy kind of a projects we come across, maybe some airport projects, particularly on the air side like runways and all, we come across, we will certainly look into those opportunities. Otherwise, these sectors will remain to be our focus sector, and water and irrigations are the sectors which are apart from our prime sector of road sector. See, then second thing is as we expect this year, we are expecting a business development of say around 10,000. Already we have secured 7,700 crores. Going forward before end of this financial year, if we get another 2,000 to 3,000 crore of new projects, our BD will be around 10,000. And with the kind of a growth you had mentioned about 20% growth in BD. So we should be able to deliver these things because as BD grows, then our turnover also we expect to grow in the similar line. So we should be able to deliver these projects. And water sectors, we have already recruited senior professionals. We have got a proven expertise and experience in the sector. So we are building up the teams. So these water sector projects, basically, these are being a groundwater kind of a thing. So there is no much kind of a engineering kind of a thing not needed. It is the boring, then overhead tank and the distribution lines. We don't see any execution issues in this thing. And nevertheless, we recruited the people. So we should be able to execute these projects within the time and to the best of standards.
So my second question was on monetization. So we have seen most of your peers have concluded some kind of arrangement with their investors on the HAM monetization, but somehow we have our legacy projects like toll projects where we have still not monetized. Plus we have 1,500 crores equity going into HAM projects next 2-3 years. So when do you hear unlocking happening and recycling of this equity? Because from here on growth, I know you have a lot of cash still left on the balance sheet, but still going ahead, there has been some visibility on monetization. So if you can give some color for the next 2-3 years, how do you see the monetization happening? Any concrete timelines by when you think you'll get into some kind of agreement with the seller, with the buyer? If you can just throw some light on that.
As intimated to you earlier, that the 2 BOT road projects are going to be completed in the 2025. But we have given the mandate to South Big Four for 6 HAM projects, monetization of 6 HAM projects, and 1 BOT project, Bareilly-Almora, and 1 LUT project, Raebareli-Jaunpur. Discussions are going on, and these 8 projects having a total project cost around 9,340 crore, with a total debt of 4,700, and our equity inclusive 940 crore rupees. Discussions are going on, and yesterday also we have discussed about 3 to 4 hours with one of the investors. So we are hopefully that in the next few months we should be finalizing all these things.
Okay, sir. That's all from my side. Thank you. I have more questions. I'll join this.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vibhor Singhal from PhillipCapital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Congratulations on the great set of numbers. Sir, I just had one question on the water and the irrigation project that we have taken. I'm sorry if you answered it before, but just wanted to dig a little deeper. Sir, ये जो water के projects हैं, इसमें generally we are providing last mile connectivity to the household through pipe water connections. So, sir, in projects की margin profile, because उसमें we will be using pipes which will be probably be a pass through and which might not be a huge cost incentive. So, क्या in projects का margin profile could be a little lower than what our margins are for the entire company? Or do you think they will be probably in the same range and we have built in that kind of a buffer?
Yeah. These projects we build in that kind of a buffer because though there is a work is involved because as you rightly said it's a last mile connectivity, but there are always some clusters can happen between group of villages and the overhead tank and all. It's not a very complicated kind of a thing. With the kind of the structure they're having, the authority is providing advances on the materials and all. There should not be any cash flow problem on these projects. And accordingly, we don't see any pressure on the margins. The margins of the same line of a company's overall margin. We don't foresee any kind of a dip in the margins of these projects during the execution. So the rates are decent.
Okay, sure, sir. And also, sir, in terms of payment for these projects, so as I understand, I think ये projects 50% state और 50% central government fund करने वाली है. So basically in projects में जो execution का payment release होगा, is that mechanism sorted out कि हमको किस body से payment मिलेगा and what will that be dependent on? मतलब इसमें कुछ are we expecting any delays in this kind of payment or do you think they will be as smooth as other projects?
No, we don't foresee any delay. See, as you rightly said, it's a 50% Government of India funded and 50% state funded for the normal this thing. And even some states, even Government of India is funding 90%. Of course, in UP it is a 50-50. State government also allocating the corresponding funds in the respective regions, being the water supply being their priority sector. And also it will give us a lot of socio-economic benefits and particularly social benefits. So we don't foresee state governments are opening designated accounts to receive the funds and also put their matching fund over there and they release the payments. So even now we received a message from the state government saying that they are asking us to submit the reports and also other DPRs so that we can take the mobilization advance before end of this current financial year. They say that otherwise funds will get lapsed. They're asking us to take it. So we don't foresee any funding issues or any payment issues in these projects, being a largely central funded.
Right, sir. So lastly, if I could just squeeze in one more question on this project itself. So are we seeing pipeline of this kind of projects in neighboring states like MP, Bihar or Rajasthan, where we are also bidding? Or is the activity as of now only limited to UP and maybe some other states?
No. Since this Jal Jeevan Mission is covered the entire country, so other states also coming up, the DPRs and all they're preparing what we are hearing from other states. So some states also contemplating other kind of implementation model, saying that 50% central government will give and remaining 50% they expect from the developers to put on an annuity kind of based model. But nothing is formalized, but we expect this similar kind of projects will come other states. But our focus area will remain to be the UP, maybe a very few neighboring states.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for answering my questions and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sita Raman from Spark Capital. Please go ahead.
Hello, sir. Sir, my question is, in the four-laning of Aligarh-Kanpur section, the PMC between Kanpur Highway Private Limited, what is the equity amount on this? That is one. And what is the construction support part that you are getting? And the term loan on the interest rate. The details of that will be helpful.
Kanpur Highway. You are talking about the Kanpur Highway, no? Kanpur Kavai.
Yes, yes. 2052 crores of the bid cost, the Kanpur highway, yes.
No, you are talking about HAM project or BOT toll?
HAM, sir.
Yeah.
That is some financial closure one.
Yeah, we call it as Aligarh Kanpur Package 2.
Yeah, okay.
So you want the rate of interest?
Yeah, the equity infused in this on the NHAI construction support part. What is the split on that particular on the interest rate?
I'm just telling you that next question I will give the yes, we are going to the detail, so we'll come back on this. Yes. Hello. Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah. Hello. Aligarh Kanpur total project cost is 1100. Hello.
Yeah, the other. So the next question is
1,109 crore. Hello.
Sir, yes, sir. Can you come again, sir?
Yeah. Aligarh Kanpur total project cost is 1,109 and total equity requirement is 131 crore, sir.
Okay. And sir, can you just give us an idea about how the interest rate dropping down and those have affected the financial closure? How is the interest rate itself for when you take a loan? It's getting how it has changed for the projects that you take debt on. Can you give an idea on that after the current changes in the
in the recent context, HAM project, which we have taking the debt from the bankers of 4 projects, that amount about 2,500 crore. The rates are in the range of 8.2% to 8.3%. Sir. We have taken the underwrite project by PSU Bank as well as the private banks. In the range of 8.2 to 8.3%. Sir.
8.2, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please limit your questions to 2 per participant. Should you have a follow-up question, would request you to rejoin the queue. The next question is from the line of Ashish Agarwal from Principal India. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. So most of my questions have been answered. Just one thing, there has been a sharp drop in interest cost in this quarter, even on a Q-on-Q basis. What is the specific reason for the same? Is it because of mobilization advance was returned on the Mumbai-Nagpur side?
Yeah, this is mainly because of the reduction in the mobilization advance, especially for the one project, Nagpur-Mumbai, where the advance rate of interest was 13%. We have repaid entire amount. Strategically, we have taken at that point of time last year, but we have repaid.
Okay. And sir, just one data point, how much will be the interest during mobilization advance currently in our balance sheet?
No. In the HAM projects, for mobilization advance, it's linked to bank rate, which is 4.25%. For all HAM projects, even the 4 HAM projects which are coming up now, so they will become eligible for mobilization advance. Apart from Challikere-Hariyur, we will get 10% of the BPC at a bank rate of 4.24%.
Okay. And on the EPC side, is there any mobilization advance which is interest bearing in the balance sheet right now?
Yes, EPC projects mobilization advance is there, even for our Lucknow Ring Road and as well as the 2 EPC projects, Delhi Vadodara Expressway. Their mobilization advance is the bank rate plus 300 basis points. So it comes to 7.25%.
Okay.
Make a call accordingly.
Okay. But any, can you give the quantum of this interest leading mobilization advance?
No, the remaining outstanding mobilization is not to be paid.
No, I'm saying what is the outstanding mobilization advance in the balance sheet which is interest bearing?
It is 150 crore, sir. Based on 31st December, it's 150 crore. as against 695 crore in March 20.
And with 160 crores is also largely it's a 4.25%.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it, sir. Got it. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shrey Pujari from Kotak. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking my question. Sir, I have a couple of questions regarding the HAM portfolio. So if you could help me with the physical progress for what is the current and latest physical progress for Chitradurg project and Jhansi Khajuraho package 1 and 2. If you could help with the percentage for this.
See, Chitradurga project, the physical progress is nearly 85%. Jhansi Khajuraho package 1, we already completed third milestone of 75% by end of December, and now it is around 80%. And in case of Jhansi Khajuraho package 2 is also 85%, and also Aligarh Kanpur is also in the same range of 80%. So we expect all these projects will achieve the PCOD, provisional completion before end of current financial year, except Jhansi Khajuraho package 1.
Okay, yeah, I mean that was my second question actually. I mean because see, what I understand was for most of these projects, the scheduled COD as per the appointment was in the second half of this 2020. But because of the COVID pandemic, there must have been some EOT. So for all these projects, you're basically expecting COD to be achieved in this quarter, is it? Apart from
all the projects except JKP1, Aligarh Kanpur package 2, JKP2, as well as Chitradurga Davangere, all three will expect COD commercial operation date before end of the current financial year. For all these projects, NHA has already granted in principle or otherwise at a IE level or at a PIU level 6 months extension due to COVID.
Right. So my second question was, so on these HAM projects, just wanted to understand, I mean, on a broad level, like what would be the, I mean, obviously compared to BOT toll projects, the equity IRR which you would be making would always obviously be lower than the BOT toll projects. But what would be the like the IRRs or the expected IRRs which you generally look at earning from these HAM projects?
In the HAM project, there are two impacts. One is the EPC. So where we are expecting the EBITDA around 30.5 to 14%. And as a equity part, we are expecting around 40% to 50% equity IRR by bidding.
Okay, so this will so this would also include the margins which you will make on O&M and major maintenance. I mean, including all those would that be included in the IRR here?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's a combined thing.
Yes.
Okay. Understood. Fine, sir. That was a couple of my questions. Thanks a lot for answering.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Subhadip Mitra from JM Financial. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I just had a question with regard to guidance for order inflows. I remember that I think in the last quarter earnings call you had mentioned the 10,000 crore kind of a guidance for FY21. So would you be revising that number upwards now, and what would be your guidance for FY22 inflows?
See, this current financial year for FY21, we would like to maintain the same guidance of upper limit of 10,000 crores. Because already we achieved 7,700 odd. So remaining 2,000 odd that we expect to achieve despite the very stiff competition in the market. Since we had already submitted bids for a worth of over 15,000 crores, we expect around 2,000 worth of new projects before end of this financial year. And for FY22 also our order book guidance would be in the same range. So given the competition and given the other kind of things, because now we go for a right project, just we don't go for any project that just for the sake of order book expansion. We will go for a right project at the right price. So next year order book also we are expecting around that same thing of a 10,000 crores.
Understood. And secondly, in terms of EBITDA margin, would you be maintaining the similar kind of guidance?
Yes. 13 to 35% EBITDA margin would like to maintain.
Thank you. That's it from my side.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may press star and 1 now. The next question is from the line of Shravan Shah from Dolat Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you and congratulations for a good set of numbers. Just wanted to further understand on in terms of the bids. You said that we have submitted 15,000 crore of bids. So, is it possible to share in terms of how much is EPC, road, EPC, and HAM? And is there any other segment which we have already submitted bids?
All these 15,000 crores bids what we had submitted during last 2 months comprising only road projects, no other sector. And this is around 40% is the EPC and 60% is the HAM.
Okay, and further in this February and March, any further bids like to submit?
Yeah. We propose to submit. We already identified certain projects, so we propose to submit bids before end of this current financial year.
So, are we comfortable in terms of getting even 3,000-4,000 crore more HAM projects also, even if we do not get a EPC? As you said, the competition is higher. We are comfortable even if we get a 3,000-4,000 crore more HAM projects also.
We can't say which project this thing. The competition is equally steep in both the cases, EPC as well HAM. In the HAM projects also, we are getting more than 10 bids in a project of 1,000 crores. So we can't say anything, but even whether we get EPCR, we should be comfortable. But given the competition, we don't expect any major kind of a breakthrough. So even if we get around 2,000, we consider it is a very decent kind of a business in the next 2 months.
Okay. And sir, coming back to the previous one, just to clarify in terms of you said that all these EPC projects and the HAM projects, the appointed date likely to be by March, April. We should be getting for all 4 HAM and Delhi Vadodara, we should be getting the appointed date by March or April.
Yes. Yeah. Majority of them before March end, and then if there are any 1 or 2 projects slipped, that would be slipped into April. Not beyond April.
Okay, and in terms of those water projects, 2,475 and 290 crore, in terms of the execution period, is it 2 year or it's a 5 year execution period?
No, it's a 2 years execution period. Initially, they are giving 45 days for the preparation of DPR. Post approval of the DPR, we have to execute the project in 21 months. Then we have to commission it. But it's not like that all the projects to be done in one go. We can go in a staggered manner, minimum of 200 projects in each division. So then we'll be doing in a staggered manner. But we expect all these projects will be completed in next 3 years.
Okay, and how much, sir, capex we have done till now in 9 months, and how much left for this year and next year? How much are we looking at?
Actually, slightly we want to revise the guidance. Earlier we have given the guidance of 125 crore rupees for this FY 2021. But after awarding these projects and just to mobilize these projects, we require the capex in this year around 200 crore rupees. Against which 94 crore rupee machinery we have already received, and we are expecting, and we have already placed an order around 40-50 crore rupees. So 94 crore rupees it has already been received, and it has increased the gross block till December. And we have already placed an order about 50-55 crore rupees.
Okay, and so what about the next year for FY 22?
Next 22, it will not around in the next of 75 to 100 crore rupees.
Okay, and yes, sir.
Capex we are taking in this year.
Okay, and in terms of the date level, right now definitely.
The operator, there's a lot of disturbance coming from your background, sir. I would request you to mute your line while the management answers your question.
Okay. Oh, sure. Sir, in terms of the date level, definitely we have reduced the date. Now only 365 crore date is there. So the similar kind of a date would be there by March, and even if we look at the next year, the similar rate would be there, or we expect some increase in the date level?
Debt level only because on account of the equipment finance in the December 23, 365, and we are expecting that March ending it should be around 400 crore, and there should not be any utilization of working capital, yes, there will be the cash and bank balance, maybe 400 to 500 crore rupees, depending on the appointed date, so that we can take the advance.
And sir, whatever the existing projects are there, as you said that by March we will be completing, except the one project in terms of the HAM. So, and any of the EPC project, whether it is Mumbai or Purvanchal, any early completion bonus is expected from any of the projects?
In case of Nagpur, Mumbai, and in case of Purvanchal, we are expecting bonus, but we can't quantify at this point of time. But these three projects have a potential possibility for securing the bonus. And before 31st March, we also expect to complete the Varanasi Gorakhpur or EPC project. But there we don't see any bonus will be coming for.
Okay. And this Purvanchal and Mumbai Nagpur would be completed by June?
They should be completed by June. Purvanchal, we have got time up to October, and now they are considering 3 months extension of time. But we should be able to complete the majority of the works and even the soft commissioning of the project by June.
Okay. I think most of it is anything you want to give a guidance on the revenue for next year?
Next year, now the successful implementation of vaccination and other things and the supply, we expect the supply lines of these things will be undisturbed, and even the steel prices increases in the steel and cement prices and everything. These things we expect a decent growth from the current year turnover. And the current year we endeavor to maintain the last year, not less than the last year turnover.
Okay. Thank you, sir, and all the best.
Thank you. The last question is from the line of Alok Deora from Yes Securities. Please go ahead.
Sir, my questions have been answered. Just one question I had. This water supply and irrigation projects, so you mentioned that some of the projects might start after the DPR is done. So can there be any delay in start of some of these projects? And if you would just indicate where we see, significant execution picking up by when in these projects.
No, we don't foresee any delay in the drinking water supply. We already commenced the DPR preparation activities across these divisions and districts. We commissioned even the studies in some of the districts. So we don't see any implementation delay in these. In the irrigation project of Andhra Pradesh also we don't see, because this is also priority project for the state of Andhra Pradesh. They're making provisions in the budget, and we expect to commence the project in the month of March, and we don't see any delay in that project also.
Okay. That's all from my side, sir. Thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Subhadip Mitra from JM Financial Institutional Securities Limited for closing comments.
On behalf of JM Financial, I would like to thank the management for giving us the opportunity to host this call. Yogesh sir, any closing comments from your side?
Yeah. Thank you everyone for your participation in our earnings call. We have uploaded the presentation of our company's website. In case of further queries, you may get in touch with the Strategic Growth Advisors, our investor relations advisors, or feel free to get in touch with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of JM Financial Institutional Securities Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.
Okay.
Thank you.